Hey, it's Edge here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for SP500 with Elliott Wave Theory. Let's start today with the higher time frame picture first, as there has been potential pivot points happening here. So the overall idea that we've had for a long time now has been that we had a three-way structure here. Then we had two different ideas. Either this was the connector wave, or we would be creating something like this as a connector wave. Both of them are still valid. We could have this being the connector wave, and then we would have this as a ABC, looking for a partner leg basically for this structure from somewhere here downwards. Invalidation at these tops that we had here. On Nasdaq, Dow, we had already this broken, this high. So I do feel like, again, the potentials and the probability shift more towards discount, where we had this as a WXY. We could have had this as an ABC, but we have talked about that previously, how this does not really resemble a five-way structure, especially now that we had created new highs. This is coming back to one-to-one extension of this move here, of this W, again pivoted from here on X, right on the dots. On higher time frame on the smaller time frame, I had definitely issues to create this into a three-way move. However, I think I've got a count here that could explain that. But on higher time frame, if this indeed holds now and we are creating a five-way structure, if you're not in at that time, we could be expecting some kind of reversal, and then down we go. Again, the expectation here would be the wave Y, where we are having a three-way structure here. At the moment, it does seem impulsive to the downside. However, we have not yet confirmed a five-way structure yet. So again, there is still potential that we are going up. Let's check out the lower time frames and seeing what we actually have here. So we had this count invalidated, where we had this as a WXY. This was the best looking structure out of all these, where we had this as a W, then three ways into X. The only issue that we had here was that we did not hit the 38.2, which again made this a bit less of a probable count. And now we have invalidated this as this high got so high. We can't make this as an A-B structure anymore, because again, we have already gone beyond the 1.618. I feel like it is too significantly at the moment, so I don't accept that. So this for me is now invalidated. We had these kind of counts where we had this as a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We did have overlap, so we need to be having this as a diagonal. Again, oops, this should be here. And yeah, I don't think we can shift this over here, because again, we do have that overlap. And if we are labeling it like this, this does not remind us of any kind of diagonal anymore, in my opinion. Sure, we could be shifting these, but the extensions are not just really great. This is smaller here, and then that would generally mean that we have a contracting diagonal. At least if we placed the wave 4 here, we would have some kind of contracting look with the trend line. So if we place it like this, this has taken too much time, even in comparison to wave 2. Of course, wave 2 was so short in time that you couldn't really get a shorter one in comparison. So again, even this here would have been stretched out quite a bit. But yeah, that's that. Not talking about this too much. At the moment, from these highs, we had the possibility of having this as an ABC, and then we would be looking for prices to go upwards again. This is still possible. There's nothing really invalidated in that idea. We have other counts here as well, which are ending at these highs, which look a bit better in my opinion. So in this scenario, I think we should be using this as an ABC instead into these highs, if we want to have a structure ending here. Then again, we would have this as an ABC, where we would have this kind of structure, WXY into A, ABC into B, and then some kind of C wave coming down. At the moment, we have almost extended to the 1.618, which again makes the probability shift into a structure that is not this. This is not an ABC. If we break these 38.65, basically if we take a couple more lows here, it shifts the probabilities towards not being this count. We already have a divergence here, where we could be saying that we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is possible, and then we would be creating this as a three-way structure instead. And of course, at that point, this will not be ABC but instead a WXY. Probabilities lie with the ABC, however, because again we had this going beyond the origin of wave A, so that was the original thought. At the moment, if I had to redo this or relabel it, I would just do this instead. But that's that. Local ABC, local WXY, there we go, fixed. Now, of course, the counts, if we had this as the end of a higher time frame structure for that wave Y, we definitely need a structure that ends at these highs. 1-to-1 is too much of a pass, or too much to pass as a possibility of ending something up in here. On higher time frame, we had this as a high on RSI as well, creating a RSI cycle end at these tops. So we definitely need to be looking into that. That's why I've created this as a structure ABC in here, into W, 3 ways into X again, very similar structure at the start. But in here again, we would have to have this as an A, B, and C. This being a C wave, a bit questionable. Sure, we could be labeling this as a expanding diagonal. It works, I feel like. But also we could be saying that we have this as an ABC into these highs, and this, instead of being a third of this structure, we would have it as a third of this structure. Not the best look either, but again, that would be giving us an ABC here, and then ABC here. Neither of them are best looking, but again, it's what it is. 0.618 hit for the ABC here as well, and 1-to-1 hit for the WXY. This is the count that I would be preferring if we go just slightly below these and we are starting to create that 5-way structure. At that point again, we need to be reminding ourselves of the higher time frame structure, which is again that wave Y downfall. So either this is starting a wave A of something larger as a potential wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A wave, then 3-way pullback, and then another 5-way structure to create that ABC for that zigzag for that end of wave Y. Or this would be a wave 1 of something larger, even larger. Of course, we could be correcting downwards where we would be creating smaller ABCs on the way down, all the way down to that wave Y targets. But again, we'll see, of course, how that is turning out. First, we need to be getting us to the 1.618 here, around 38.47, and then get that 4th wave, 5th wave. And then we can be starting to more comfortably say that, okay, we have definitely a possibility where this is a start of something instead of an end here. But yeah, the max, of course, the expander flats go, or at least what I allow, is the 2.618. That is very low here. That is something that I don't think I've seen on SP 500, however. I've seen it on crypto, Bitcoin, so I think the rules might be shifting a bit on SP 500, where I wouldn't accept this low of a expanded flat. So this definitely needs to be discussed further on and back tested, in my opinion, for me as well later on. But again, just give you some heads up there. I think that is going to cut it for this video though. Again, we can start leaning more bearish once we get to the 38.47. Before that, we still have the potential of reversing with the other counts that I've mentioned. Of course, if we see a 5-way structure here, look for pullback, go long, take at least some kind of profits early on, and then if it turns into a higher time frame, wave 1, look for wave 2, and then look for that ABC at least. Again, a couple of different options where we could be playing that upside as well. But I think that is going to do it again for this video. If you made it this far, again, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.